Welcome to the Internet Homies Podcast, a podcast where homies who met on the internet get together and talk about life. I'm Sara.
I'm Kailey.
And I'm Desi. And at the time of recording this, we have just gotten back from our trip to San Diego. We went to Twitchcon this weekend. What'd you guys think?
I personally liked it. I think it was really nice to kind of have a place where everyone could kind of meet up and meet people who you wanted to meet from the internet, and also a little bit of a convention center that actually had 2 floors.
Yeah, it was a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. When we had gotten in there, we just knew about the first floor, and then someone told us there was a second floor. And so that was kind of nice because like there was a lot more to do, you know, like places to hang out and stuff like that.
I feel like if no one had told us about that second floor, it would have definitely been a different experience to know if there was just one floor on the bottom. Like I would have thought differently about it.
Yeah, it was a lot bigger. Like from the outside, you kept mentioning it too. Like on Thursday when we picked up our passes, you're like, "This is a lot smaller than I thought it was going to be."
I was judging it based on outside of the building and just like the windows and doors, and I was like, "This is kind of small."
She's like, "I don't know how we're going to fit like 20,000 people in this room."
I was like, "I don't know how we're all going to fit in here."
No, but it was cool. Yeah, it was a lot bigger. There was a lot of things to do if like that was something you're into. They had a lot of gaming stations and like booths and stuff that you could like interact with. Other than that, though, I mean, like I thought it was cool. It was interesting, and it was really cool getting to meet a bunch of people that obviously we wouldn't have met if it wasn't for that. But I mean, I don't know. Personally, I wish there was like more, For what it was cool. I mean, I enjoyed it. It was a nice experience. We were there for a good while, like 5 hours or something like that. But yeah, I don't know.
agree with you. Well, because it kind of got to the point where if you're not meeting anybody, it got to the point where you saw everything already. Where like you didn't necessarily get to like do everything, but you got to see the entire convention in like a matter of like 2.5, 3 hours.
Yeah, like for us at least, I mean, other people did do the 3-day passes, but for us personally, I think the one was fine. Like there wouldn't have been, like it would have literally just been going to hang out,
Right. And it's like that outside of the TwitchCon event.
Yeah, most of the people that we hung out with this past weekend too only did 1 days, so then we got to like do other stuff. So that was nice as well. We did quite a bit this weekend. It was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun.
I did too. It was really nice to finally like meet you guys, because I know we talked in an earlier podcast episode about you two meeting, and then it was gonna be me meeting you guys.
What did you think? Did you like us? You hate us, huh?
I hated both of you. I'm just kidding. I loved both of you. It was everything that I pictured and more. I knew I was going to fall in love with you guys, but it was just like
in love, like
you heard it here first.
Oh my god. Okay, you know what? Backtrack. Okay, I knew I was going to like love you guys and hanging out and learning a little bit more about you guys, and then getting to actually hang out. It was just an amazing experience, and I cannot wait to do it again.
I know we're gonna have to plan trip number 2. It's so strange. Like Sara and I had already met, but it was the same for that experience as well. Like having a friend and then finally putting like an IRL face to that friend, It's very interesting. I don't know.
It's nice to meet and see that they're real.
Yeah.
I mean, Kailey, it was expected because we like FaceTime her all the time. But I'm talking about like other people that we met. Like, it was weird, different, and we did not realize how fucking tall they were.
Oh my god.
Or how short we were.
Oh my god, Miss Lydia is so tall. Like I knew she was tall, but I did not know she was that tall.
Yeah, when I saw her and I hugged her, I was like, "Holy fuck, dude!" I was like, "You're so tall."
It reminded me of when Abby hugged me at the airport. She was like, "You're so short." It's like, okay, like thanks. It's like I'm 5'3". I feel like I'm not super short, but I'm not super tall either. I'm like kind of in the middle.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of other people were a lot shorter and taller than we expected as well.
Yes.
But yeah, it was really cool. Like a bunch of different people that we had been talking to for years, or like this person from this community or that person from that community, and like getting to like see people and like put a face to them was really, really interesting. There was a lot of people, like not just at TwitchCon, but over the course of the weekend that we had met that I didn't expect to meet. Which was really cool. We had went out on Saturday night too, and there was like all different people from different communities. Like we got a chance to talk to a little bit Rose Ruland, which was like very unexpected. She's a partnered streamer. I'm sure a lot of people know who she is. And then I actually talked a little bit to someone who I found out later, which I feel fucking awful about because I wish I got a picture with him, Huskers. Who I have been following for a long time. And I was kind of drunk, so obviously didn't realize it was him at the time. But afterward, I was like, God damn it. And I went into his stream last night and I told him, and he's like, I'm so fucking mad at you. Like, you should have, like, told me and like got a picture. And I was like, I'm so sorry. But like, it was like, I don't know, really unexpected, like in that kind of sense. It's like, you don't picture to be around these kind of people. And then when you do, and everyone was so nice, Like,
yeah, from our experiences, we can't talk about everybody because obviously there's like allegations right now going on and all this stuff that people are posting about other people. But for us, it was fucking chill as fuck.
Yeah, it was really, really nice. Yeah,
I'll be honest though, like we met a bunch of people and got like photos, but then thinking about it later, I was like, I didn't get as many photos, or we didn't take as many photos as I wish that we had.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, me too.
Because I was like reflecting back and I was like, oh, we did not get some photos. I really wish that we had gotten.
Yeah.
Right.
I was looking at my camera roll and it's like pretty much empty. And I was like, fuck, I feel so bad.
I think we spent more time trying to make the memories and actually being in the moment than taking the photos, which is like both like I feel like a good and a bad thing. Because obviously we were like in the moment, but then there's really... It's hard because if you're looking back, there's not really photos like say that we did it. It's just the memories that we have.
Yeah, like I'm very like that, like in the moment type of person. I get so distracted with like being with people that I'm with. Like I was looking for like photos we went to Disneyland on Sunday.
I know.
And I did not take one photo. Not one picture was taken from Disneyland. And I'm like, gosh, God damn it. Like I wish I would have fucking taken some.
All of the place and us together. We didn't get any photos of us together at Disneyland. It was just like of where we were.
I mean, at least you could say you were there.
Yep.
Hey, I got my photo of the blue milk and I'm good to go.
That's all you need.
I was so shocked. I was not expecting it because I've heard mixed reviews on the blue milk, but it was so good.
I had only ever had the alcoholic version when I went to Disney World, and I hated every second of it. So it was honestly better without the alcohol.
It was, because I think I had all of you try it.
Yeah, it was good. It was very good.
It was really, really good.
But yeah, I mean, the entire experience over the weekend was really cool. We did a bunch of stuff. We went wine tasting. We had a dinner with a large group of people, which was cool.
Did we go wine tasting or wine gulping?
It was tasting. It wasn't chill out.
Some of us chugged.
Yeah, it was fun. It was different.
It was.
But so I'm sure everyone has heard multiple stories actually from TwitchCon. So TwitchCon was great. And there was also some negative things that have come out from that convention. Yeah. Sarah had mentioned a little bit, and I don't think we're going to really like name drop or anything because I'm sure everyone knows what we're talking about. But there were allegations of people or someone being a creep towards women at the convention. Mm-hmm. So that's, we had read about it after, and I don't know. And then on top of that, the foam pit incidents, like from the Lenovo foam pit that they had, multiple stories have come out about injuries. a very, very large streamer, Adriana, which I feel fine saying her name because she's very popular, actually broke her back jumping into the foam pit, and she broke it in 2 places and had to have surgery and a metal rod put in her back. So I am very much so expecting to see lawsuit stories come out of these.
Right.
It's just wild to me, like how, because everyone that was there, if you're listening and you were there, you know exactly what we're talking about. How that pit itself passed like safety checks. Like,
Yeah.
It was literally like, you know how big like foam cubes are? It was just a layer of that on top of concrete.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and, like,
there was no actual protection there.
And like the whole point of the foam pit for what it was to knock people into it. So even if you were falling into it or jumping into it yourself, which most of these people were, like, I'm not surprised that all of this happened. Someone broke their ankle, dislocated their knee. Adriana broke her back. Like, I don't know. It's just wild to me, and I'm not looking forward to it like in a positive way, but like just seeing like what comes out of that, like what repercussions Twitchcon gets for this stuff, you know.
Also, they fucking said that they would be checking bags and stuff. They never checked bags. They never did anything. They said that only small bags were supposed to be brought in. I'm sorry. I know it's totally off topic of injuries, but they never like actually kept their word on that one. And that's like so upsetting because I had a Polaroid camera that I wanted to take inside and I didn't because I didn't want to carry it around my neck and I wanted to put it in my backpack and I didn't take my backpack because of that reason.
Yeah. Yeah. There was a lot of things that they weren't like following through on, you know?
And apparently from what we've heard is that they were being like really fucked up on day 2 and day 3 of the event.
Yeah.
So like when we went, it was like good that we went that day.
Oh yeah, because we went Friday, and then I was seeing because I was curious because we didn't go to day 2 or 3, the TwitchCon hashtag on Twitter, and a bunch of things were coming out about how like staff was really rude to people on these days and like kicking people out of lines for no reason and blah blah blah, like during meet and greets and stuff where, you know, I'm sure people were waiting hours to meet people and then being taken out of line and put in the back just because. Like, I don't know, dude. Like, I'm really thankful that we went the first day, you know?
And like going on those allegations and stuff too, because we went on that first day, I think all of that happened, like you said, on that second, third day. Like, I personally didn't see anything. I didn't see anyone getting, you know, like handsy or creepy. And we walked by the foam pit, I think 3 or 4 times. And I know I watched people like jousting on it, but I didn't see anybody fall and break their neck. I think, and that was another good point of the foam pit, is it was there for like jousting, like fighting, like 2 people like fighting. And I think in that video, it shows her just like jumping off of the podium and not actually during the fight of the jousting, which I thought was really interesting. And the fact that they, you know, had more than one person get hurt and they still didn't like close it down.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, and apparently, I don't know if they did. I heard that there was, but that's not, like, I haven't been verified on that yet, that they had to sign, like, waivers before being able to go into it.
Saying that, but then they can't sue.
You know, even then, waivers are to, like, scare you. Like, but I think lawsuits are going to come out of this, especially with Adriana and her back injuries.
I think someone will at least try.
Oh, I think so too. And I hope they win because that's bullshit. Like, it's very obviously not safe. And the fact that it was passed for inspection, or if there even was one, is mind-boggling to me.
Yeah.
You know? So, but, I mean, for us, overall, it was good. Day 1. I can't say that for everybody, obviously, but personal experience and stuff. It was cool. And it was nice too because for everyone. It wasn't just like a partner thing. Up on the second floor, they had like places you could hang out, and I heard that's where a lot of people met everyone. So that was cool. Instead of having to like walk around and just like find people, there were like places that people were going to specifically meet people, which was cool. We met a few people up there as well.
I was gonna say we met a few people up there, and they had the food up there too, which I think was another like drawing point of the different options of food and drink that they had up there as well. Oh, and they had a band too. They had a live band playing outside as well.
Yeah.
It was actually different people like at different times, but that was okay too, you know?
Yeah, it was cool. But then, I mean, the whole weekend overall was really, really fun. And I'm glad that we did it. And I don't know where next year's is going to be, like in the US, but I would definitely be down to go again.
Yeah, I would be too. And I would definitely say you guys have tricked me into finding another time to go to Disneyland and doing it again.
Yes, absolutely. I know they're having it, in Paris next year as well. I would absolutely love to go to Paris, but...
We could do Paris, and then we could do Disney in Paris? Oh my God, that would be so exciting.
She just got so excited over that.
I'm just saying, that's on my bucket list, so... Like, if we can fucking do both, I'm down.
Give me like a year and a half to start saving for Paris.
I know, it's going to be really expensive.
It's going to be so expensive to fly to Paris.
Isn't it in like July or something?
Yeah, it's not even a year away. It's like really soon.
I don't know about that one, guys. I'm going to be honest.
Well, then I guess I'll go by myself.
I'm just curious to know where the United States one is going to be.
We could also do like just a girl trip to Paris and not necessarily to Twitchcon in Paris.
Gotta plan all the trips, man.
You know, like, I'm planning like my next life, like expectant trips out. I swear.
I think it hasn't TwitchCon always been in San Diego though.
Yeah, I think so. I'm hoping that they do it somewhere else. Like even Florida would be cool. You know, like somewhere different.
With the humidity, with the hurricanes, really?
Well, in October the weather is really nice. I've heard.
Really, they just had a hurricane.
That's okay.
Yeah, but hurricanes don't happen often.
Yeah.
It literally depends on the weather for hurricanes to happen.
Literally anywhere but San Diego. I literally live here, so it was like it wasn't like me getting to have a
so then LA, I'm down. LA, I'm fine.
Because the first TwitchCon was in like Amsterdam, and then the second one was here in San Diego, and it was like always outside of the US and inside of the US. I feel like they have to do the same sort of thing for next year too, because you know not everyone's gonna be able to go to Paris, so it's gonna be somewhere in the US.
Yeah.
Well, the people on the other side of the pond are the ones that go to that one, so
right.
I guess we'll see. That'll be exciting too.
I will say though, you know, traveling by myself for the first time, I was filled with so many emotions the entire trip.
Oh, I'm sure.
For the first time.
Like, forever. I can tell you, these girls have a text of me freaking out over the time zone change because I'm literally stupid. And I sent them a screenshot. And I was like, why is my flight like an hour and a half? They're like, hey, dipshit. It's literally like 3.5 hours. That's the time zone of when you're going to land. I was like, oh, okay.
By the way, we didn't call her that. She called herself that.
I would say,
I want to reiterate that.
I might have thought it, but I didn't say it.
You definitely thought it. Yes, you did. I was like, it definitely, like having to deal with time zone difference, I think too, was also like really was what was hard. Because, you know, it was like, you know, 10 for us and then midnight, you know, back home for me here. And I'm like, can I text my parents still or, you know, whatever. It's like, it's too late. Like they're in bed, you know, and the time zone like really was difficult for me.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, I will say though, I don't necessarily think that I'm like a dipshit. I just, because I'm not used to it. I just, you know, said that.
Yeah, no, you're good, dude. It was like
you're smart.
But we'll have Dream put some pictures on screen too of like some of the stuff that we did and people that we met, so that way you guys can like visually see it too. So
see it from our eyes.
Yeah, or the eyes of the camera, either one.
Shut up, Desi.
But at the time of recording this, it's mid-October. It is. So you know what that means?
Oh, hold on. Before you do that, I will say it's going to be like later on, but it is Miss Desi's birthday today. So if you could all drop happy birthdays in the comments for Miss Desi in this post, that would be amazing.
Even though it's belated
birthday, all right, girl, we love you. Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
Thank you. Not me trying to like get past that and not have it.
No. You're definitely like getting stuck with it, especially because we didn't get to embarrass you at a restaurant.
Yeah,
you're getting embarrassed in the comments.
So happy
She's
belated.
Like, oh, you guys suck.
Right now it's happening. So happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
Thank you.
I think I posted Desi on Twitter, on Instagram, on Discord, different Discords. And work.
At work too. Oh boy.
But yeah, we love
Forget when my birthday is. Just forget about it.
Isn't it April 19th or the 20th?
No, definitely not that. No.
The 21st?
No.
Why are you laughing? Man, y'all.
She doesn't want to talk about it.
I'm gonna look when I sent you the flowers. I know when.
Kailey's gonna be 21.
Yeah, I will be. And we're going. Oh, that trip too. We are definitely like going to go to Vegas.
She's going with her family to Vegas, and I'm for sure crashing it. So.
You better. I'm hoping that you do. You and your wife.
Oh yeah, I'm bringing the whole gang.
Oh god, the roommates are gonna be. That's gonna be such a fun night of memories.
It's an excuse to be able to go on a trip that's super close.
Yeah,
so we're gonna do it for sure.
Because that night that I stayed with Desi, there were so many memories. There's so much stuff that happened even that night too, with like your roommates and the neighbors, and I was like, this is the life.
Yeah, they're wild.
What happened with the neighbors?
One of the neighbors might have saw one of the other ones, not fully dressed.
What? How?
I don't know. I didn't ask questions.
The apartment across from ours has been vacant for a long time, and people just moved in, I think literally this weekend. Mm-hmm. And my roommate just got out of the shower, and she was butt-ass naked, and her fucking blinds were open, and our new neighbors saw. So,
oh my god! But literally, me at the airport too, where this lady literally like saw me in the stall. The door was locked.
Everybody's getting a show.
The door was locked, and then the door just like popped open, and all of a sudden I look up, and this lady's face is looking right at me. I was like, "I'm sorry," and they closed the door. I was like, "Leave me alone."
The fact that you had time to make eye contact with each other, and she didn't just like immediately.
I know. And I immediately washed my hands, and I went the other way. I was on this sorry too. Yes. And I got in the bathroom. I washed my hands so fast, and I went in the other direction. I was like, no, she's never seeing me again. I was like, I don't ever want to talk to this lady fucking ever again. Peace. And
she was on your plane?
No, she was not. I remember that face. She was not on my plane. Thank God she wasn't.
I hope you see her at a later time.
Wow. Like, hey, I remember you.
Hey, I remember you. You peering Tom.
Jeez Louise, man.
Yeah, it was it gets interesting.
Yeah. That's happened to me one too many times.
Yeah, and I immediately texted you guys too. I'm like, guys, she just saw me in the stall. You're like, ew.
She saw me in my underwear.
Shut up. Literally, that was a text. I'm like on like the walkway, like tram through the airport where it just like it's like an escalator but like flat. And I was like, guys, I just got to the bathroom and this lady just saw me in my underwear.
True.
Jeez.
I was like, oh, like that would be the thing that happens to me in an airport,
Of course.
Well, you know what? For my trip in the Netherlands, we had adjoining rooms. They didn't lock the other side. And somebody walked in on me fully naked. So they got a whole view of everything. So, I have never experienced that. And it was kind of embarrassing.
Yeah, I've had that happen to me at a hotel before too, where actually twice it's happened to me where the hotel gave another set of people the same like hotel key or whoever, they messed that up and they literally tried coming in, and I had one lady, the working lady, who like opened up the door, and I like literally like just pushed it. I went up there and I ran up there and I just like literally shoved it in her like face and I bolted. I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me? Like, get the fuck out!" Like, I was also in my underwear then too. Like, what the fuck is happening? Like, if you want to be in my underwear, just ask.
Don't you like put that little thingy, the chain thingy?
Yeah, I do. The chain, I did, and she was opening up to the chain. So, and then she still was like trying to come in. I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me? You can tell that you aren't supposed to be in here. What are you doing?"
That's weird. I don't know.
There's so many weird experiences. Oh my god! And then my sandwich. So I bought a $13 sandwich at the airport, and it had raw chicken in it.
Oh, nice.
It was a chicken provolone sandwich, and at least 2 or 3 of the pieces of chicken in my sandwich were raw.
How do you know?
Because you can, like, the color of the chicken, the bottom part of the chicken was like white. The chicken's white, it's cooked, and the top part was like, looked like skin. Like,
ew.
Yeah. And it had like the pepper and stuff or whatever on it. And I was like, and I was eating the tomato. So it had tomato in it too. So I was like, so tomato is kind of like, you know, a certain kind of texture. And I was like, the chicken's like the same freaking texture. So how much of raw chicken have I eaten?
Well,
I was so pissed. No, but I was so pissed. I was like, literally, I paid $13 for a fucking raw sandwich.
Those airport prices will get you, man.
I was literally texting the girls, and like when I was like, I saw a cheesecake for like $8. And I was like, I texted my parents. I was like, I'm craving something sweet. I'm not paying $8 for this. Can you please bring me something sweet? And my dad brought me a couple cookies. And I was like, thank God.
I saw too on your Instagram post. Did they make you a cake?
Yeah.
It looks like a panda.
Yes, my sister surprised me at home. My mom had helped her like buy the groceries, but they made me a welcome home panda cake, and I was literally crying the entire ride home, and I cried when I saw that too. She took a couple photos. I was like, you are not posting those with me in it. My face looks so red and puffy from crying so much.
We'll have to put that picture on screen too of the cake. It was really cute.
Yeah, it was. I didn't see it. Perfect. It's on my Instagram post, but I can send it to you after this too.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll put it on screen too so everyone can see it.
Yeah, and it was such, because I had bought them like, you know, the Disneyland stuff, and then my mom was yelling at me. She's like, you didn't get me anything. I'm like, I know, but I did. And she's like, we have a surprise for you too. And I was like, what? I was like, no, you're not supposed to have the prize for me. I'm supposed to have the surprise for you.
Did you tell them like about the weekend and stuff? Like what they say? Because I know that you, not only you, but like your family was super nervous about you going as well.
Yeah. And I was telling my mom a little bit. I told her, I was like, I was shocked and surprised when you didn't come to the airport and just like pull me away and take me back home. And she's like, really? And I was like, yeah. I was like, I know you did not want me to go on that trip. And she's like, yeah, well, it's not about like what I think. And I was like, well, it kind of is. But definitely I showed him the photos. I did the Apple mirroring. And I showed him the photos from, you know, that I had of Disney and us. And I was like, I had a lot of fun on this trip. I was like, I cannot wait to do it again. And then my mom looked at me and I just started crying. And I was like, I really missed you. And she's like, did you not have fun? I was like, I did, but I missed you. Like, what the heck?
Yeah.
I'm such a little like emotional baby.
That's okay. It was like your first time being away like by yourself.
This trip had so much anxiety for me. Not only was it flying by myself, it was many people I didn't know. It was like just the entire thing. You know, and I think that definitely, I normally don't get like anxiety or anything like that, but the traveling alone and then meeting people that I haven't met before just caused like so much just like built up anxiety for me. It was definitely challenging, but I'm glad that I did it.
Yeah, it's an experience you can say you had.
And oh my god, the experience of me trying to keyboard and mouse on your setup, it was so bad.
Stay tuned, everyone. Kailey's going to become a KBM player.
Oh god, no. No way.
No, it was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun this weekend.
I did too. I kept looking at Desi. I was like, how do you do this?
It's hard, man. When you're first doing it, I was saying, like, it's not only is it hard to do the keyboard and shit, but visually.
Oh, God.
It's like in your face. It's like, yes. You know, especially if you're used to playing on a console with a 60-inch TV in front of you.
Exactly. And that's how my setup is. And I was like, I am never switching to this. You have fun with this. I will not.
And I do. I have fun.
She literally sat me down and she's like, you're trying this. And I was like, all right.
You gotta at least try it, you know? It's not for everyone, but, you know.
No, it is not for me. Oh, God, no. That 120 FOV. Oh, that was awful.
You get used to it.
He's like, do it more.
But, yeah, so at the time of recording this, it's mid-October, which means Halloween is coming up.
One of the best holidays.
It really is. So we thought maybe for this episode as well, we could talk about our own personal experiences with paranormal and things like that. Kind of like a spooky themed, as we're already like 30 minutes into this episode, but like a spooky themed kind of episode to celebrate Halloween, I guess.
Yeah, that sounds perfect.
All right.
Sounds like a good time.
So, do one of you want to tell us a little bit about any experiences you've had with that kind of stuff? I'm ready to.
You should start it, to be honest, because that fucking story you told us the other day was fucking scary as fuck. I literally couldn't sleep.
Well, I don't quite remember which one it was, but I'm sure I'll hit it because
the thing that tried to lure you to jump out of your fucking window.
Yes.
Yeah,
so when I was younger, we lived in West Virginia and Ohio, and multiple of the houses we lived in, it wasn't just one, were haunted, like for real. And one of the experiences that I remember very vaguely, which is so strange because usually you don't remember things when you're that young. When I was little, I had a shadow friend. Now, he was a tall black shadow figure who would wear a top hat. And I called him Top Hat Man. And he was my friend. And every night my mom would hear me talking to someone in my room, and it would be me talking to this, what she thought was some imaginary thing.
Immediately no.
Yeah. So
hair on my back.
Fuck. Hell no.
Let's get ready to get freaked out. So
I just got shivers. Oh my god. I literally just got like quivers down my body.
And I don't know if it was every night, but often enough for it to become concerning. My mother would find my window open. Mind you, I was like 2. I can't open. They're those old windows, like those wooden windows that were really heavy, So I couldn't open them myself. It wasn't me. And we were on the 2nd floor. So I don't know if you've heard, but usually when they say like dark figures are like demons, like evil entities, we kind of just figured that this shadow, this whatever, was some sort of demonic type of being. And children are very susceptible to paranormal stuff. They see things more than like adults do because they're so innocent,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We just figured, especially now in my later life, after having multiple experiences and like watching shows about paranormal and things like that, we just kind of put 2 and 2 together that this figure was trying to, like with the window, would try and lure me to the window. It would open it up and essentially try and get me to fall out because I was so small and we were on the 2nd story that we just kind of figured that's what happened, which is kind of freaky, that. But I remember this figure so vaguely. Like it looked like the silhouette of like Abe Lincoln. Like that's what he looked like. He was tall, skinny with a top hat. Honestly, could be Abe Lincoln. I don't know.
Abe Lincoln was gonna
you bitch. Abe, you bitch. Did you ever like get rid of it, or did you just kind of like move away?
No, we just kind of moved.
Okay.
Because it was like, I don't know, it was over the course of an extended period of time. And it's just so burned in my brain. I remember it so vividly, like, this figure. And I talk about it to this day, 26 years later. but like that shit is freaky. Like to like kind of put it together that that's probably what was happening, especially if it's an evil entity. Like that's the type of shit they try and do. It's like fuck your shit up, you know. And I was the only small one in the house. I don't know. I don't think my brother was born yet, or if he was like literally an infant. So yeah, that happened.
I think what's interesting is that you said that you would talk to him, but at 2, like, what were you able to say to him?
I don't know. He probably was just asking me about my day, like trying to make me comfortable and stuff. You know how little kids, or if something's like, follow me, they're like, okay. Like, you know, like you're just so stupid. Like, you know, and innocent.
Wow.
Like,
you are stupid.
But yeah, that shit's freaky. And then it was a different house. It was actually, we found out later after all the experiences, it was built on a burial ground. Where a lot of fucked up shit happened to people. So it was for sure, Abe. For sure, for sure haunted. We would go away for weekends to like visit family, and we would come back. It was one of those. It's kind of like a townhouse, but not as nice. But they were. It's like the 2 apartments connected. You know,
kind of like a condo,
like a duplex.
Essentially, it was only one story though. I don't know how to explain it.
Okay,
but we'd come back after the weekend, and our neighbor would be like, "Hey, like." You guys were having a party this weekend. It was really loud. And we'd be like, no. Like, we were gone all weekend. She would say that she'd hear banging next door and, like, voices and, like, stomping around our house.
My God.
And
imagine the whole time you guys are thinking it's, like, scary stuff, and it was just squatters.
Yeah, breaking in, having a party, and then leaving.
Right.
But it's just so funny because everything was, like, the way it was. Nothing was moved around or anything like that. There was no sign of like people being there. But we had multiple experiences at that house, so that's why we figured, you know, it was like ghosts or whatever. But there was one time when me and my cousins and all my family were having like a sleepover at our house, and it was a known fact that our basement was haunted. And so there would be like banging on the basement ceiling, so it would come through the living room floor. It's one of those old, creepy, like concrete brick basements, like picture in a horror movie. It was literally that.
Ew.
And they would be making noise in the middle of the night. So one night, my grandfather heard it, and he opened the basement door, and he yelled. He's like, my grandkids are trying to sleep. Can you knock it off? And there was like a knock, 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 and then it stopped for the rest of the night.
Oh, wow.
Okay,
so,
I am only meeting you. I'm never meeting the rest of your family. It is bad juju.
Well, you know.
There's no go for me.
And then seeing, like, we would see, like, ghosts around the house, too. There was one night when my father was upstairs in the bedroom and my mom was in the living room. And my mom saw him walk through the kitchen. And she was like, you know, like, babe, like, what are you doing down here? And he's like, from upstairs, he yells, what are you talking about? I'm in the bedroom. I don't think my mom's ever flown up a staircase so fast in her whole fucking life. Because who the hell was in our basement, bro? Or our kitchen, I mean. Like, that's just
scary.
Yeah, things like that. You just see, like, rocking chair would move by itself. Like, good parts of our house would be, like, freezing cold, you know? I don't know, the whole experience, but like it was like, it was like 3.
Have you ever wanted to like get like the ghost equipment and like go around your house and like test it with like an EMF reader and like cat balls and like a spirit box?
I wish I could go back to those locations and do that, because I'm almost going to guarantee I'll lay my life down on it that they were haunted as fuck. Like, and then because so much shit was happening in that house that was connected to my neighbor's house, they looked it up. Because they were like, what the hell is going on here? And that's when we found out it was built on like a burial site where like a lot of like screwed up stuff happened to these people. So it was like, well, how do you say it? Like spirits trapped, like they haven't like passed over yet. So they were like haunting, you know?
Oh, I just got more shivers. Ooh.
But like mine are more like that. And then later years, one of my great grandmothers had passed away. This was maybe 5-6 years ago. And my mom took her old rocking chair and had it in our living room. And whenever we would talk about my grandma, the rocking chair would start moving by itself. And we had no fans on. There's no wind coming through the house. So, like, it still freaked me out, even though it wasn't, like, you know, even if it was her. But I was home alone one day, and the rocking chair started moving, and no one's going to believe me because I was home by myself, but the remote control from the couch flew across the room. And I was like, I don't know if she's just trying to, like, mess around with me, but I'm scared as shit right now. I was like, and so I put it back, and it didn't happen again, but then the rocking chair kept moving, and I was like, this is, like, the freakiest shit I've ever, like, you know.
Did you choose to be alone? Why would you want to be alone in that house?
Well, it wasn't a haunted house. It was just...
still...
Yeah, I don't know. After that, I was a little eerie about being by myself. But
yeah.
But yeah, it was freaky. Like, those are, like, the main ones I can remember. I know a lot more stuff happened. Obviously, I was just too young to, like, remember it myself. Yeah. But those are, like, the main stories that, like, my family and stuff talks about that I remember. So it was just interesting, like, actually having those experiences yourself. But you guys mentioned that you had some.
Right. So, I mean, where do I start? I have so many. I could tell you, when I lived in Kansas in my mom's house, I had several things happen to me. One of them was one night I was fixing the laundry. Like, I had washed, dried, and everything, and I was folding it on my bed. And it was, like, in the evening, so it was dark. And my mom used to get out of work late, so I thought that she had gotten home because I saw a woman pass by the hallway and into the bathroom. And, like, my mom is one of those people that needs to, like, pee, like, 24/7. So, like, literally, she would always get home and first things first, the bathroom. And so I thought my mom went to the bathroom. So, like, I stop what I'm doing and I step out to, like, ask my mom how her day was, and no one was in the bathroom. And I'm like, did I miss her going back to her room? Like, what's happening? So I walk towards my mom's room and it's dark. No one's in there. And I'm like, what the fuck? So then I walk into the living room. Nobody's there. No one's in the kitchen. So I look out the window. My mom's car is not there. And I'm like, what the fuck? So then I want to say, like, 15, 20 minutes later, my mom shows up. And my mom's like, the first thing that she comes in, she doesn't even use the restroom. She just tells me, I need you to sit down. And I'm like, okay. And she's like, I have some bad news for you. And I was like, what? And then she's like, they called me about, like, 20 minutes ago to tell me that your aunt passed away.
Oh, God.
Oh, and so...
Oh, no.
I actually was kind of close to that aunt, and I told my mom, and my mom said that that was her way of saying goodbye.
I just got chills. Yeah, oh my God. Wow.
And it was the weirdest thing because literally, like, I saw the side of that woman, and my aunt, she looked like my mom. So she was short, everything, dark hair. So maybe my mom's right. Maybe that was my aunt. Maybe it was just me tripping.
Oh my God.
Yes, I saw that. And so I told her, and that's what she said. Another thing that happened in the house is that I would hear a child laughing.
Oh God.
Hell no.
I would hear
lit the house on fire.
I would hear a child running around, you know, the little steps. Like, I would hear that.
Oh God.
One time everybody was in the backyard. They were having a barbecue for my sister's birthday. And I was in bed in the dark, and I was like, okay, I'm going to take a nap because I was supposed to go out with my friends later on. And I clearly heard a man say, go to sleep, bitch. And I was like, what the fuck? So I got up. Nobody was in the bathroom. Nobody was inside the house. I went back to the backyard and I was like, hey, did anybody, like, go inside or anything? They're like, no, we've all been here just eating and stuff. And I was like, what the fuck? So from like, I just didn't go back. I just stayed there.
You're like, I'm not going to sleep now.
You're like, fuck you.
And
you don't tell me what to do.
That was creepy as fuck.
Yeah.
Another time, my sister said that she thought I was home because she heard noises coming from my room, and like it sounded like somebody was digging and like trying to look for something. And so she like thought I was home, so that she opened the door and no one was there. So she's like, oh, fuck that shit. I'm never going into your room again.
Yeah.
So it was your room that was
haunted. I think it's like the back part because my sister also heard the child. And I didn't bring it up until after the fact. Like a couple years after I had moved out, like I was like, oh yeah, I heard this. And she's like, oh yeah, I heard this.
Like maybe it's safe for me to talk about it now. It's been a couple years.
Yeah, I also saw a dark man one time. I was walking in, I was by myself, and my mom, her bathroom is like has a window where like if the moon shines in, like the light comes in. And so that's exactly what happened, but I saw like the silhouette of a man, like a tall man. And the weirdest thing is that I was not afraid. I actually walked towards it.
Hell no.
And I walked towards it and I turned on the light and it was gone. But I like legit saw a man.
No.
Like it was I don't even know how to describe it. I can still remember it, but like it was legit a man.
Did he have a top hat? Maybe Abe was visiting you too.
Fucking Abe, man. Actually, I love you, Abe. Don't come after me. I'm just kidding. You're the best president.
Yeah, no. It was,
leave me alone.
It wasn't him, but it, I have way more stories of like just weird things that have happened to me growing up, and like
that happens too, where it's like something you're supposed to be afraid of for some reason you're not. You know what I mean? Like with that. I mean, again, I was young, so I was like more susceptible to it. But like that experience is scary as hell. And if I'm sure my mother or my dad saw it, they would have like, not been as inviting as I was. But like that too for you, it's like you saw it. You're supposed to be afraid of that. Like that's, but you weren't. It's so strange.
It is strange.
I don't know how many stories I have, but I have like one in particular that's like very vivid in my mind. It's again like another time when I was like younger. So again, like that, when you're younger, you're more susceptible.
Mm-hmm.
And this happened over like a period of time. So one of the times I was sitting at like a coffee table, just eating a snack with my sister, and I saw a shadow dart across our hallway, like from one room to the other. I just watched, like, just boom. And then I looked up, and then I vividly, like, watched it happen again, but the other way, like, right across the hallway. And I was like, what is that? And then it was gone. And then my sister and I, like, at a later period of time, we were hanging out in her room, and I saw these green eyes in her closet, like, just glowing green eyes. And I was like, what the fuck is that? We call our mom, and like our mom like saw it too. And then but when she looked at it, it like went away, like it hid back in the closet. And I was like, what was that?
That's the boogeyman.
That sounds like Mike Wazowski and Sully were there visiting him.
I was like, what is that? And then another point in time I saw it like in the closet again. And at the time, my family was just like very, religious, and my mom had went to our pastor about it, and she was like, help, like, what is this?
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of told her like something to say in every room of the house.
Mm-hmm.
And she went through and said in every room of the house, and I never saw it again. And she had asked like what it could be, and he's like, it's probably someone who was lost, like you had mentioned earlier, because at that point too, it was like hiding from us as well. Like it wasn't like your guys' story. It was very much like afraid of us.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it was very, very odd.
like, I'm really glad that I experienced that stuff mostly, like, when I was younger.
Right.
Had I experienced that at this age of my life, oh my god. Like, I don't know what I would do. That shit scares me. Dude.
I would definitely burn my fucking house down. Like, I don't give a fuck. I'm burning it down.
God, like, the paranormal stuff, some people believe in it, some people don't. And I truly believe that you don't believe in it until you experience it for yourself.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's like, you could go visit haunted places and, like, try and, you know, see something, but, like, when it comes to you naturally, that is scary.
But something else is, like, when it's set up for you, like, to physically go to a haunted house, it is so much different than when it's just, like, unexpected, like, in your presence.
Hey, I'm here. You're like,
hey.
I have a story that I'd like to talk about that you just reminded me. So this is years ago. This was back in, like, I want to say, like, 08, 09. I was living with my boyfriend at the time, and his family and him, they all left to San Diego for a wedding. I didn't want to go for whatever reason, I can't remember, but I stayed home alone. I remember I went and I heated up my food in the microwave in the kitchen. And it used to have, like, this, like, entryway into the kitchen where, like, the stove and stuff is. Like, it separated it from the dining area. Only one person could go through it. Like, it wasn't, like, a big area. So I grabbed my food and I went into my room to eat. And when I came out, the chair was blocking the way. Like, it had been literally picked up because I did not hear it screech or anything. And it was put in the entryway. Like, nobody could get through.
No. Moving out.
I left my plate there and went to the room and never came out again.
Yeah, fuck that.
That scared the living shit out of me. And I called them and they didn't have service at the time there. And I kept calling until I got through, and I told them what happened. And they were like, it's fine. You're alone. Like, it's nothing. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. The chair was not there. Like, I did not move that chair. Like, that chair was literally blocking my way to the kitchen.
Yeah. Jeez.
I will say, though, like, even after, like, having, like, experiences, like, personally, I still love to watch, like, Ghost Hunter and stuff, like, on YouTube. I don't know if you guys watch him, but I will watch, like, FaZe Rug. And recently he's been doing some, like, haunted, like, episodes. And he has, like, an entity that's, like, attached to him. Like, in a... Yeah, like something attached to him. Like, it's crazy. Like, everywhere he goes, the people, like, the professionals that are normally doing it, like, are telling him, hey, this stuff that is happening to you has normally never happened. Or, like, I've never seen this before. And it's, like, because he's always felt like he has had something attached to him. I know the most recent one of him going back to his old childhood home. I don't want to spoil the episode in case anyone wants to watch it, but he had stuff happen there. And they had their friend come to the house, and she's like, no, like, I was feeling stuff on the way here. Like, I can feel like something else is here, like, attached to you.
Yeah, I remember. I saw those videos of his old house.
And it's, like, scary as shit. Like, how not only is it, like, happening, like, in person, but, like, having just a thing attached to you.
Yeah. My mom was married a good number of years ago. My stepfather, he had 2 younger kids, my step siblings. And the little one at the time, I think he was like 3. And his grandmother had passed away, like, recently to that time. And we swear up and down that his grandmother's spirit was attached to him because shit was happening in that house that had never happened before. They were very close. Yeah. She loved him and she was very protective over him. And there was a lot of, like, stuff going around in our house at the time, like, between, like, my brother and him weren't getting along. So there was a lot of, like, tension and shit that was going on, like, you know, with the family itself. But, and we would pick, cause I was older. I was out of high school. Like, so, and I had always picked on my younger brother. So, like, I've got a new younger brother. Like, we're gonna, like, pick on him and whatever. That's just what siblings do, you know. But grandma didn't like that. So there was one time I was home by myself and I was walking through my hallway with my laptop, and I would always hold my laptop very close to me because we didn't have a lot of money, and to have that was like, it was like my prized possession. I was walking through the hallway. I was going to go out to the living room to do work, and something, because I was home by myself, grabbed it out of my hand, and it flew out of my hand and hit the ceiling. And it broke. And yeah, and then we would take pictures and stuff, and like there would always be like orbs like around him, or like if someone had picked on him that day, there would be like orbs like and like stuff around their faces and stuff like that.
Oh my god.
So we deemed that house as haunted, but like when we thought about it, I think it was just him, like that spirit, whether it was her or something else, was attached to him.
She didn't like you.
Yeah, well, clearly not, because she broke my laptop. I was very upset. But I called my mom, and I was like, this just happened to me. Like, I'm really freaked out. Like, I was holding it. Like, you would think that it would drop on the floor, but it, like, flew, like, upward. Like, someone had taken it out of my hand and, like, tossed it. It was, like, the scariest thing of everything that I've ever experienced. That was one of the scariest things that's ever happened to me. Because you could physically feel the force of it being pulled out of my hand.
Yeah.
You know? Oh my god! So it's like, like I said, experiencing it when you're young is one thing, but experiencing things like that when you're older is a completely different story.
I always wondered if like the games that we played as kids, like kind of help catball, that sort of thing. Like when I was younger, we used to play like Ghost in the Graveyard. I don't know if you guys know what that is.
No.
It's like a game of like hide and seek, like at night, like either in like a graveyard or a backyard, and like scary shit. I was like, I'm never playing this fucking game again. Like I literally got so scared that, like playing that game would cause like people to come after me.
Or people that would like genuinely sit and like play like Ouija boards.
Oh, I'm never touching one in my life.
Like I don't mess with that stuff, dude.
Nah, I don't fuck with that. For hell nah. Mm-mm.
I've never done one. I've always been interested in it because it's like, is it real, or are your friends just like messing around with you? But like I don't know.
If you do that, I'm never touching you again.
I'll have spirits attached to me.
Yeah. You keep them. I don't want them for me.
But like, yeah, I love paranormal shows though. Like the old TV shows and stuff like that. Because I've experienced it myself, it's just so interesting, you know?
I also wonder sometimes too, they kind of like correlate to like the murder mystery stuff too. Because I know like I'll listen to like one of those podcasts once in a while of like an unsolved murder mystery. It's like that person is so mad about what happened that they're just gonna like, hurt somebody, like, poke fun at someone else that's like alive.
Yeah.
It was kind of crazy. I didn't think about it, but you and I were kind of talking about like ghosts and stuff the other night when I was staying with you.
Yeah.
And like being haunted.
Sometimes we think that our current apartment has got some shit going on. Maybe it's me, because when we were in the hotel room the other night, the freaking bathroom light turned off by itself.
Oh my god, dude. Yes, I was there. I witnessed that. We were talking about ghosts. Like we were talking about this episode, and the light just went off. It was like,
I didn't see it because I was laying down and just looking at you guys.
I know it's on a timer, but like it went off at the exact time we were talking about it.
Yeah, it was really freaky. I was like, I'm gonna chalk it up to it being on a timer, obviously, but like,
right.
It was just weird. But like at our place too, like things will be like in different places, or like we'll hear stuff. Like I heard a door close when I was home by myself here. Like I don't know. You couldn't
find the ping pong balls?
Maybe the ghost took them. I don't know, man. They just disappeared, like
but
gone.
It was the fact that like the light had gone off, and Desi and I looked at the bathroom together, and then looked at each other. Like we knew that like something had like gone down.
It's about to go down.
Because it never went off like that, so perfectly timed, except for that time that we were talking about ghosts.
They didn't like that. We pissed them off.
I blame Desi. Desi did it.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Abe, she did it.
My mom had always joked about that too, because it happened when we were younger, it happened when I was a little older, and then it happened to me now, like in my recent years. My mom's joked about that too. She's like, maybe there's just something like attached to you. And I was like, don't say that. It freaks me out.
I don't want to believe it.
No,
but it really is.
Me. I wouldn't be surprised, but
oh my god,
maybe it is from when I was younger and it just like stuck itself to me. I don't know.
Could be.
Okay, never hugging you again.
I'm gonna need an exorcist.
Shut up! Oh my god!
Oh my god!
But those are like the most prominent stories that I can think of. I obviously know of people who have experienced like crazy shit. But like for my own personal experience, those are like the main ones that I can like actually remember.
Like I like to think that sometimes, like especially with my grandpa passing not too long ago, that I will like my dog will start like barking in some random corner of the room, and like I know it's and like we were just talking about him. It's like him just like watching like what we're saying and like what we're doing, sort of thing, like making sure we're okay. Because I know that he's never the guy like he's not gonna come like haunt us or anything. He's just gonna like watch over us,
Which seems sweet, but like in reality, like that's so scary.
It was like, well, how much are you watching me do? Like
when we would talk about my grandmother, and then the rocking chair would start moving. It's like, oh, you're here, but like, please leave. Like this is freaking me out.
I love you, but like, please go back.
I don't like this.
Like that too. Like I think like our dog will see something that we won't see of just like some activity because there's like no noise or anything, and he just starts like barking and he's just like looking at one corner of the room, and I was like, okay, we're moving.
My dogs have done that here. They'll be like on the couch and they'll just start staring into the hallway, and I'm like, what is there? Like,
Twix was so fun. In the morning, Twix was like low-key growling at me, and then she just came like trotting over and then just was like hugging up on my leg, like, please hug me and touch me, even though I just growled at you.
She's so sweet.
I was like,
She's
okay.
Crazy. They're crackheads, bro.
They are. They really are.
Did you guys have any other stories or anything?
So when I was 16, my cousin, he was like 21. He had just turned 21, and he was shot and killed by a rival gang. And I was really close to him. Literally a week later, I saw him in my bedroom staring at me.
Oh.
So my computer desk was right next to my bed, and I had been laying there. It was like around midnight, 1 a.m. I had not slept because I was actually like going through some stuff, and I couldn't sleep, and I was just staring into like the wall and stuff. And I look over to my right, which is where the desk was, and sitting in my chair was my cousin. He was just staring at me.
Hell no.
And I looked back at the mirror in front of me, and I was like, what the fuck? And then I looked back again, and he wasn't there.
God, it's so creepy. And it's always the worst times too. Like you can't visit me at like 3 p.m. Like 3 p.m. when it's light outside. It's gotta be like in the middle of the night.
I'm gonna be honest. I think I've been possessed before.
What the fuck?
I'm not.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. Go follow us on our socials.
I have 2 stories.
I'm out.
There was a time, so we were sleeping at my grandparents, and my sister and I have 2 separate beds. Like they were bunk beds, but they split it into 2 separate beds. And it happened once. And one time in the middle of the night, I guess I had gone up and asked her to like switch beds with me. And we switched beds. I remember waking up like in that morning, and I was not where I went to bed. And there was another point in time I had gone in my parents' room, and I just like, I guess did this like evil stare at my mom, and I freaked her right the fuck out.
That sounds like sleepwalking.
I think this is what we call, I may not be a doctor, but let me Google this really quick. I think this is what we call a case of sleepwalking.
Okay, but you know what though? It was like the face that I made at her, and the fact that it only happened twice. I've never done it before.
You might have just been like nervous or like had like anxiety before you went to sleep.
Nah, it's better to say I'm possessed.
It sounds freakier,
doesn't it?
I don't know about that.
He's like, all right, done with the episode. Peace. We're done talking about this.
Oh God.
That's not how it works, buddy. They don't like usually do it when you're asleep. I kind of want to fuck you
about
up.
like this stuff, like this stuff now, and I'm like, why am I thinking about it now?
I don't know, man.
See, like it's odd.
I don't think I've ever personally experienced like physical stuff, but in that same house or with my little stepbrother, a couple years ago, my brother would wake up with like scratches all over his body.
No.
So people can be possessed like for like the way they act out too. Like my stepbrother was a demon, bro. Like he was just off the rails. Like something was in his body that wasn't supposed to be there. Like we thought, you know. And with the photo evidence, I'm gonna have to ask my mother for a picture and see if I can find one so I can show you guys. I'll put it, you know, in the video. But that and then him waking up with like scratches on him and shit. I'm like, I don't know. I can't fuck with that stuff.
No, that sounds really fucking creepy.
Yeah. It's happened to me before.
Yeah, like me, not me personally, but like I've heard other people. So that I was going to ask you guys if anything like physical has ever happened to you. Cause like that scares me more than like seeing a ghost, you know?
I haven't had like any physical harm, but I've definitely like been touched before. Okay, in like the most like non-sexual way, like something is like definitely like touched my foot or something, you know? Like I've been touched. Shut up. You guys, your minds are just like
I'm clipping that, bro.
Shut up. Bro, you guys are insane.
No, I've the scratches.
Yeah.
Deep ones, and yeah, it's weird. It's weird.
I'm like, I don't think that I scratched myself.
All right, so this will be the last episode of the Homies podcast. I'm no longer friends with these guys. They're scaring the fuck out of me.
Sorry.
If you guys pass it on to me, I'm gonna haunt you when I'm dead.
I'm sending it over to you through the mic.
No, no.
Take it. I don't want it.
Oh my God, I think that's what we were talking about too that night. Of like, if I died, like I would come haunt you guys. I think that was the conversation.
God. She just starts drawing like panda faces in the steam on the bathroom mirror.
Oh my God.
No, it's me. Hello.
Wow.
When I'm showering, I like to put my hair on the wall. So my wife said that if she ever dies, she would make like boobs in like the hair that I put on the wall. That's how she let me know she was there.
Why do you put your hair on the wall, bro? What?
I don't like it going down the drain, so I just put it on the wall.
You're so
weird. That was you?
Yes, I was just gonna say there's hair on the wall.
What the hell is this? Ew.
I know, like, what the fuck is this hair on the wall type shit? Like, I'm pulling my hair out of the drain, just throw it in the trash, and there's like a fucking hair just like on like the fucking like wall. I'm like,
I'm so
why?
sorry. It's a bad habit. I'm sorry.
Weirdo, bro.
I'm sorry.
Little weirdo.
Oh my goodness.
We're not even gonna get into your snoring habits.
Oh Lord, no. We're not talking. We're not putting our laundry out to dry. This is for internal information only, not external. Internal.
That was so funny.
Oh my gosh, it's really bad. Okay,
we're not talking about it.
Moving on. But this is a lengthy one. So at this time we will have already
shut up.
By this time we will have already had 2 episodes of the podcast out by the time you're listening to this one. So I do just want to take a moment to thank everyone who's listened so far and have given feedback and have shown support, not just on the YouTube video and channel, but the social media as well. Slowly but surely, but I, just want to say thank you to everyone who's like been showing support and stuff like that. It means the world, and we really appreciate it.
To all of us, not just Desi. Don't let
everyone, all of us.
Yeah, seriously, thank you so much,
so much.
Like, because we just want to do this for fun, and to actually see like people like wanting to listen and stuff has just been so amazing.
Yeah, having people ask like when the next one's gonna come out and stuff it feels really cool.
Yeah, it does.
doing something that people are like actually interested in. And I think by this time too, we've kind of figured out a schedule. We will be posting every other Friday. So every 2 weeks, the episode will be coming out. It'll be on YouTube. Obviously, we have Spotify too, and then Apple Podcasts. We've actually figured out how to put it on there as well. So you'll be able to find those there. And then the Instagram and the TikTok, we upload clips from each episode as well. Selfish plug. Go follow those.
You'll hear the clip of me saying I was being touched.
I'm for sure clipping it, and it's going on the TikTok. I'm sorry to tell you. But yeah.
Yeah, no, we appreciate you all very much. And if you have any ideas or topics that you want us to talk about, you can always send us a DM through our Instagram to give us feedback there. If you want to, for us to speak about something in particular.
And also, I'm curious too, especially this episode, if any of you guys have had any experiences, let us know.
You can DM us on Instagram. We also have an email address that you can send that stuff to as well. I think we're thinking
on the YouTube comments too.
Yeah. And any of them would be great. Any feedback as well. All the feedback so far has been positive, but negative feedback is good too.
Except for where they start talking shit.
Yeah, Desi, you suck.
Sorry.
Just kidding. Like me in the bathroom. I'm sorry.
I don't even want to know what that was. Thank you for taking the time to listen to today's episode. We hope that you enjoyed it.
Like I said, go drop a follow on the socials. Check us out there. We are also going to put all of our editors' socials in the link in the bio as well. We couldn't do this without him, so please go check him out. It's Dreamcitadel. He's fantastic, and he's been nothing but, a saint and helpful throughout this whole process. So go check him out too.
All right. Until next time, homies. See ya.
See ya.
Ooh, woo.